Europe is hands down my favorite place to travel in the entire world. But there are some places that everyone always seems to know about, like Paris, London, Rome, and then there's countries that not many people ever hear of, like Andorra, San Marino, or Liechtenstein. But with the right mindset, traveling to these three countries can be a great way to see Europe without breaking the bank. So let us talk about why you need to add these three countries to your budget travel list and how you can save money when visiting them. Let's get into it. The first country that not many people think of when planning a trip to Europe is Andorra. This tiny microstate nestled between France and Spain has a lot to offer travelers, from stunning mountain scenery to duty-free shopping. The best time to visit this small country is during the summer or winter months, as temperatures can reach the low 30 degrees Celsius, and they do get quite cold in the winter. The most popular activity in Andorra is skiing, which is perfect as it sits right in the Pyrenees Mountains. But do not worry if you're really not a fan of hitting the slopes, because there is plenty to do in the summer too, like hiking, mountain biking, and simply enjoying the beautiful weather. My favorite part about Andorra is how green and mountainous the entire country is. It's no wonder it's considered one of the most beautiful countries in Europe. On top of that, it's also considered to be one of the safest countries in Europe. In fact, Andorra has gone over 26 years without a single murder. They also have one of the highest standards of living in Europe and zero national debt, making it one of the only countries in the world where this is the case. Now, for those of you wondering, yes, Andorra does have its own language called Andorran. But most people in the country speak Catalan, Spanish, French, and English. If you're headed to Andorra, make sure to check out this video that I made about the best things to do in the country. So what are the actual savings that you can expect in Andorra? Well, since Andorra doesn't grow much of their own food, they import most of it, meaning that dining out is actually pretty expensive here. On average, a meal at a cheap restaurant will cost around 20 euros. However, if you decide to cook at your accommodation, you'll find that groceries are actually cheaper than in neighboring Spain. So if you want to save money in Andorra, I recommend checking out some Airbnbs and cooking most of your meals yourself. The second country that isn't on many people's radar is San Marino. This tiny Italian microstate is home to just over 34,000 people and is completely surrounded by Italy. It might be small, but there is still plenty to see and do here, from exploring the medieval old town to hiking in the surrounding mountains. San Marino is also one of the oldest republics in the world, dating back to the 4th century. So if you're interested in history, make sure to check out one of their many museums or historical sites. What makes San Marino such an ideal destination for budget travelers is the fact that everything is very close together. You could easily explore the entire country in just a few days. This also means that you won't have to spend a lot of money on transportation. In fact, you could even get away with exploring the entire country on foot. And while you're there, make sure to check out my video showing you how to spend 48 hours in the country. San Marino is also known for being one of the safest countries in the world, with extremely low crime rates. That means you can walk around with your phone out, taking pictures without having to worry about pickpockets or other petty crimes. And while it is very unlikely that you'll run into any trouble, it's always a good idea to keep your wits about you when traveling in large cities. And since you're probably going to end up in a big city at some point during your travels, make sure to check out this video showing you how to stay safe in big cities. When it comes to accommodation, there aren't many options available in San Marino, but you can find a few budget-friendly ones in the nearby Italian cities of Rimini and Florence. The last country that doesn't seem to be on many people's itineraries is Liechtenstein. This small German-speaking microstate is sandwiched between Switzerland and Austria and is home to just over 39,000 people. Most people who do visit Liechtenstein come to admire its stunning mountain scenery or to explore its medieval towns and villages. And while it's definitely worth checking out, there's not a ton to do here. So I wouldn't recommend spending more than a couple of days here unless you're really looking to get away from it all and unwind. Now, if you're thinking of visiting Liechtenstein, you should know that it's one of the richest countries in the world by GDP. So what makes Liechtenstein so wealthy? Well, it's due to a number of factors, including its strategic location in the Alps, which makes it an ideal place for cross-country skiing. They also have a thriving financial sector and a highly educated population. Of course, like any country, Liechtenstein has its downsides. One of the biggest drawbacks is the high cost of living. Everything from groceries to gas to rent is more expensive in Liechtenstein than in neighboring countries. This is mainly due to the fact that most of the goods have to be imported from abroad. Another downside to consider is that Liechtenstein is a very small country, meaning there isn't a lot to see and do here. If you're someone who likes to keep busy on your vacations, you might get bored here rather quickly. So what are the actual savings that you can expect in Liechtenstein? Well, Liechtenstein is one of the most expensive countries in Europe when it comes to accommodation. A night in a hostel will set you back around €40 and a double room in a mid-range hotel will cost upwards of €150. If you want to save money in Liechtenstein, I recommend staying in a nearby city in Austria or Switzerland and taking a day trip into the country. That way you can experience all that Liechtenstein has to offer without breaking the bank. While these three countries may not be on everyone's radar, they're definitely worth considering if you're looking to save money. Just remember to be respectful of the locals and their culture, and you be sure to have a wonderful time. Europe has so much to offer every type of traveler, whether you're looking for history, culture, food, or adventure. With a little research, you can easily plan an unforgettable trip that fits your budget. So what are your thoughts on these three underrated European countries? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning about some more underrated European countries, make sure to check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.